the first episode of the year! Can you insert fireworks? I was thinking like CGI, like something. Because it's a new year, new me. Not really, I'm still caking. I'm thinking we all need to make a resolution together. So the resolution is we can still eat cake, but we can only eat cakes shaped like healthy foods. Is an avocado a fruit? Watch, as soon as I type in avocado, they are. So I'm hoping to get you a little inspired to try something different in the kitchen this year. If you've been here watching all these years and you haven't caked a cake, this is the year. Now go to the kitchen and cake an avocado. Let's go. Okay, so I remember these avocado cakes. I remember using my egg pan, which is now discontinued. So do you remember how many questions we got about where I got this pan? Yeah, I bought this pan years ago. I actually have 3 of them and they don't make it anymore, but it's perfect for the shape of an avocado. Did I dye the cake? I dyed the cake for sure. Avocados, like when they're not ripe, they're more green, but as they ripen, they get more yellow inside and green towards the outer edge. Did you see what I did here? I used a Kinder Egg as the pit. So a regular Kinder Egg is a bit small, but you know how sometimes they have those big Kinder Eggs? They sell them at Easter? That was too big. I ended up using a regular Kinder Egg, but I think it makes a good avocado pit. I'm really distracted by the length and color of my hair in this video. I don't even know her. I must say, this buttercream, that color was excellent. It looks like an avocado. I used avocado green, but wow. It looks, there is a color called avocado green. I'm dancing for some reason, I have a lightsaber. What does an avocado have to do with Star Wars? I feel like I've had like some kind of how to cake it lobotomy where I don't remember more than half of the cakes I've made or the things I've said, which is probably a good thing on the channel. Don't remember at all. I will say it was very hard to get the color of this fondant. This is a fondant color I've never made before and never made again since making this avocado cake. And I wanted the avocado to look super ripe because avocados are one of those fruits that it's like hard, overripe. Like in one day, it just decides to ripen. And it's never on the day that I want to make guacamole. You know what I'm saying? So I used foil, yeah, so I crumpled up foil. It's a bit stronger. And at first I didn't think it would work, but as I kept going and went all the way around, it definitely worked. Because avocados too, when they get ripe, they get really mushy. What is that? Oh, I'm making another nub. Guys, I love making nubs. Okay, it's not a nub, it's like the stem. Oof. It looks like to be honest, it looks like a little turd. It does. It's a little bit turdy, but that's how it looks. Oh, see, I used cocoa to get that brown. I completely forgot. Oh, it looks great on that bed of avocados. And I mean, to think we found that many avocados that were ripe. Oh, yes. And this is how you should eat an avocado, really, honestly. Cut it in half, take the pit out, salt, pepper, lemon, nice touch, and just scoop it out. Okay, so next, well, it's a good friend of the avocado, which is a banana. These are some of my favorite cakes on the channel. First of all, I love banana cake as a flavor, but like avocados, they just get ripe really, really fast. You know what I mean? You buy them, they're green, you have 6 bananas, you're like, oh, we're never gonna eat these bananas. Oh my God, did I make this during COVID? I look extremely tired and fluorescently lit. I look so lonely in there. I cut rounds to build up the banana rather than try to shape a banana because things that seem like they would be easy to carve, like a circle, are the hardest thing to carve. You will never get it right. It's easier to carve something that isn't perfectly symmetrical, like an avocado. Not that a banana is symmetrical, but trying to carve it from the top and carve all the way down the sides would be harder. So I used these cake rounds to build it up. And I also love that it left more room for chocolate ganache because I had to sandwich them all together. Chocolate and banana is one of my favorite combos. So I shape it. You know what this is reminding me of too, which was also banana when I carved the snake. It was banana with mini chocolate chips in it. And then I held a snake. I mean, in this video, I held bananas, so I'm basically a hero. Ooh, although that shot. Like, did I not just say that the avocado nub looked turdy? This wins. Inside of the banana is actually so pale. It's very, very pale. It's barely yellow. It's an off-white, really. I love the way this looks. I love this cake so much. Is there a fruit I haven't? You know what fruit we should have put in here? Strawberry.
Pointless fruit.
I'm sorry, but if the Strawberry Association is watching, I just want to apologize on behalf of Orhan. A pointless fruit, he says, a pointless fruit. Look at me, I'm cutting the skin open. I was very nervous about, oh! I forgot that I did that. I remember I laid awake at night wondering how I would attach that fondant to the back. Oh, the banana strings. You have to make the banana strings, the annoying part of the banana that you peel away. It's not a banana if it doesn't have the banana string. Next up, I'm gonna do citrus next. First of all, I love citrus. Let me just tell you, I love citrus fruits, period. Grapefruit is one of my all-time favorite fruits. And you know what I loved about this? I made a simple syrup of every single one. Lime simple syrup, lemon simple syrup, orange simple syrup, grapefruit simple syrup. Oh, you like Brady Bunch the syrups. The syrup bunch, the syrup bunch. Yes, I syruped every fruitcake with its own flavor. My forehead is very shiny. That has not changed about me, by the way. Oh, do you remember when the shelf was that way? Oh. I put the nub, I put the nub under the fondant because, okay. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. So I rolled out all the colors for the outside and I textured it with a texture mat. I wanted to do the cross section, so as if you would cut into the fruits. I needed to recreate that pulpy texture. I used a sculpting tool on the surface of the fondant. That was the longest part of these cakes. And you just saw 20 seconds, like, oh, look at that. Painting, it's my favorite part. I remember being bothered that I couldn't make it look as translucent as a fruit would really be. I just painted them so they would still be wet and shiny on the top. Oh, I just love the way it all looked together. Oh, pinapole! I love pinapole. This cake was extremely hard. A lot of painting, a lot of texture. I had a special mold made just for this cake. Whoa, that's a lot of cake. So I wanted the center to be darker or a slightly different shade of yellow, just like in a real pineapple. See, normally if I shape a cake like this, I would double barrel it, meaning I would put a board in the middle and put dowels in the bottom because it was very high. But I was just adamant that I would get that cut, like a full slice. If I was making this cake for a client or at home, I would never do that. I would put the board in it. Look at that mold. It's beautiful. It came from Christine's Molds, which she's from Ontario, but I found her like on Instagram and I asked her if she'd make a mold for me, and she did, and I love the way the mold is almost the color of my fondant too, which I didn't even request, it just happened to be that. So I used the mold and then I had to cut zigzag lines and like still puzzle it together. Wow, and guys, I'm using a scalpel. You should know that this is serious. It's so tricky when you use a mold. First, you know, you create all this texture, but you don't want to erase the texture when you're applying it to the cake, but you need to press. So that's what makes this really difficult. Yeah, see how I had to piece it all together? Oh my good, and then I had a whole bunch of paint. You see that? Because you see, pineapples are really interesting. They're really intense underneath and then they lighten. This took forever. When I tell you this took forever, this took forever. And wait till we get to the part where I cut out all the spikes. Oh my, did you see how long those spikes took? Because you know how in a pineapple they stick out, it's kind of prickly. So I cut out individual spikes and added them. This was very difficult. But I love that it's called the crown of the pineapple. I mean, no other fruit wears a crown really. I made these leaves out of Gampp paste. I had to curve them all. You have to work fast. It's perfect because it hardens, but once it's hard, you can't change the shape of it. So I'm just guessing at the shape, and then I had to build it out into this crown and overlap them all. The slice is beautiful. Look at the core. You know what? I shouldn't have put buttercream in the core, but that would have made it harder to stack. I should have left the core as one solid bit. Oh, look at me stuffing my face on camera. I've never seen that before. Now you know who had to make it in, right? He is the first fruitcake on the channel. He started the trend. You know he's sitting somewhere just saying like, those other fruits wouldn't even be on the channel without me. He has the most views out of any cake on this channel. The building of the cake itself and the covering it is not hard. The hardest part about this cake is painting. The seeds are chocolate chips in my pink velvet cake. And then the most important part too is coloring your buttercream to match your cake, which sounds easy but can be difficult. So this is a cake you can try. Plenty of people have tried this cake with me. We did like a camp cake, we did a Bake You Happy, we've done slices. You can make this cake. Guys, I intentionally covered Walter with thicker fondant. Like he has the thickest fondant of any cake on the channel because the point is it has to look like rind. And there were comments that were like, oh, the fondant is thick. It's like, well, have you met a thin-skinned watermelon? No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I showed everyone his nub, and that is when he turned on me. He said he's a model, but he doesn't do that kind of modeling. I want to see the slice. The slice is the best part of this video. No wonder he has the most views. It was a bucket list cake idea of mine that I had before we even started the channel. Like I just had this vision of a watermelon cake and I had never made one as a cake decorator for a client. I got to make it on how to cake it. Guys, I'm drawing a blank. If there's another fruit you want to see me cake, I've never done a pear. I've never done a peach. No one's really like, make a plum cake. Like I feel like plums are forgotten. Delicious and forgotten. And thanks for coming on this journey with me. I will see you Tuesday.